I'm Dr. Ruth Anderson here with Enlightened World Network. I am here with Terry Wildemann, and we've been doing a series, I guess you could say, excuse me, called Keep Up the Faith here with Enlightened World. We know it's a fascinating time to be alive, and that makes it tricky for us being here on the planet. For those of us that are connected with spirit, it's a little bit easier, honestly, because we've got the support and the love of the spiritual divinity. We've got perspective that folks that don't have that kind of outside relationship have. So I have had this beautiful awakening of getting to meet Terry Wildemann, getting to know Terry Wildemann, and I couldn't wait to share her with you. And Terry and I were talking the other day about the law of attraction and how the law of attraction is playing into what's happening for us here on the planet now. And Terry wrote a little bit about the law of attraction the other day, and I couldn't wait to share her with you. So I'd love to introduce you to Terry Wildemann. Terry, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you, Ruth, for inviting me to come on and to, excuse me, talk with, or to, not to talk with, but to share, that's the word, better share my insights and my knowledge of what brought me to where I am now. I appreciate it very much. Law of attraction is such a special topic for me because a lot of folks don't really understand it. You know, they say to me, I'll often hear, well, law of attraction doesn't work for me. Well, guess what, folks? Law of attraction is 24/7. It's it does what we tell it to do. That's the bottom line. It does what we tell it to do. So if we're in a state where we think we're doing everything positive, we're saying all the right words, but our energy inside isn't matching the outside, there's a disconnect. So what you actually want and the words that you are using, the vibrations aren't matching up with what is going on in the subconscious. And oftentimes what's happening with the subconscious, there's trapped emotions in there from when we're kids. You know the drill. Our environment can affect us. So what we focus on is what we get. What we focus on is what comes to us. And over and over and over again, a lot of these things kept coming to me and I didn't understand why. And then when I attracted this house I'm sitting in, I realized there's something to this. This was 25 years ago. And I had no idea what law of attraction was. I had no idea, but I had a list. And my list had exactly what I didn't want. And it had what I did want to a T. And we weren't finding the house. I was adopting a baby, writing a book, my first book. This was 1997, 98. And I finally said to my husband, let's keep renting because this is too much stress. I'm too stressed out. And he said, okay, well, rent for one more year. Couldn't find the house we wanted. And the next day I gave up. I just gave up. And I let go of control. I'm done. The next day in the paper was a description of a house that was new, because believe me, I knew everything. I knew that MLS inside out and outside. And I'm reading this going, I called up my real estate agent. I want to see this house. I drove by. There was no sale sign on it. I drove down the street. And there was a friend of mine outside. I said, who owns that house in the corner? She said, oh, that's so-and-so. I said, really? My dentist?
Oh, no, you're kidding.
Oh, I'm not kidding. And he didn't tell he hadn't told his people yet that he was moving. But I knew that was my house. I knew. And when we came to see the house, do the walkthrough, I had my list. And it was check, 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 check. And I'm talking down to the wooden swing in the backyard, the hammock between the two trees, the shelving that was left down in the basement for all my stuff, the extra refrigerator that was downstairs, the finished basement, it was insanity. My husband said, next time, now what we did, he said, next time I do this, make sure I ask for a flat driveway because our driveway goes like this.
Add that to the list.
That's the list. The only thing I didn't get was the south-facing house, which actually is a wonderful thing because the sun comes up to the east in the back of the house and it goes down in the west in the front of the house. And it's just absolutely perfect. And my dentist matched our price because he wanted me to have the house.
Wow.
And I didn't understand what law of attraction was. But I realized, I started looking at the steps. And I knew, all I did was focus on, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. I was very clear on what I didn't want, but that's not what I focused on. I focused on what I wanted. And when I gave up, meaning I allowed the universe to give it to me, it showed up the next day. Isn't that wild?
That is crazy. Wow.
And 25 years later, we're here in this home. So that was really the beginning of my having clarity around the power of positive thinking and really focusing and putting energy behind what you really want with clarity. That's really the deal, with clarity and belief. And also about letting go of control. You gain control when you give up control. You gain control when you give up control. So with what happened after that was I became certified in law of attraction. After that, I became a certified coach, certified stress coach, blah, 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 on and on and on and on and on. And again, law of attraction does work 24/7. It's just, what is your focus? So with this virus, I don't even like to use the word virus, but with this virus, you have a choice. What are the positives that are coming out of it, or what are the negatives? What are you going to focus on? Are you going to focus on the negative side of the virus? Or are you going to focus on the positive side of the virus? And there are so many positives. Are there not?
There are so many positives coming out of this. The connection that I'm seeing between people, the slowing down and coming up with complete new constructs for how I define myself, how my family defines themselves as a family unit.
Yes.
So many positives.
There really are. And people are coming together in different ways. And here's the thing. There's a phrase that states you need to slow down to speed up. You need to slow down to speed up. I firmly believe that part of this is humanity asking for a pause, asking to slow down. And why am I saying that? In meditation the other day, I was doing I was working with a colleague, and I went into zone, and out came these words that the world needs to take a nap. And how often do we say, take a nap to regenerate, take a nap to rest your body, take a nap to rest your mind? And the word nap, the acronym is nurture, appreciate, and pause. Nurture, appreciate, and pause. So when we nurture ourselves by taking a nap, when the world nurtures itself by taking a nap, and then we step into a place of appreciation, let's take a real good look at what we can appreciate right now. Can you appreciate, like when I wake up in the morning, I appreciate my pillow. I appreciate my covers. I appreciate my bed, my heat. I don't appreciate the alarm. I appreciate my home, my husband, my children. I appreciate the opportunity to do these kind of things with you. My clothes. I mean, so it's this list every morning of what to appreciate, and that raises your DHEA levels and lowers your cortisol levels. And the more you appreciate what you have, the more prosperity you're actually attracting to yourself, because that's how law of attraction works. It works from a place of appreciation. It works from a place of self-care. It works from a place of kindness, gratitude, and joy. That's how we attract the things that we really want to attract in our life. Does that make sense?
It absolutely makes sense. The kindness, the gratitude, and the joy. Absolutely. So Terry, the folks that are doing the, oh my gosh, the world's coming to an end. I have to, stockpile ammunition. I have to stockpile my guns because people might break into my house to, take my flour or whatever. They're equally feeding into the lack, the scarcity. So we've got that. And we also have folks like you, like me, that are trying to bring in divine light and positivity and see the positives. I think it's a very fascinating time of
very fascinating.
There's two very separate camps, it feels like.
Yeah, there really are. And one feeds into fear, and fear is forgetting everything is all right. Our friend Abraham, Abraham Hicks, those are Abraham's words. Forgetting everything is all right. Another acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. I just like forgetting everything is all right. It's just an easier phrase to remember. And we do forget everything is all right. And I mean, I don't know where, I'm sitting here looking at a roll of toilet paper because I needed a tissue earlier and grabbed the roll of toilet paper. But I mean, why, pray tell, are we stockpiling toilet paper when the coronavirus had nothing to do with that end? I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Right, it's the fear of not being able to have it when you want it.
Right, right.
Stocking up on it.
Yeah, exactly. And the hoarding, the stores are filling up. There's nothing that says that we need to go into this space of fear and scarcity. Everything is still going to be there. The stores are still going to be there. Now, should there be concern? There's a huge difference in vibration between the word fear, which is a very low vibration, and the word concern. Concern is a much higher vibration. And there's a big difference between operating out of fear and operating out of concern for another human being. That's where the kindness comes in. That's where the compassion comes in. That's where we give ourselves extreme self-care, which we have to do. Okay, we have to take care of ourselves first. The flight attendants have it right. You need to put oxygen on, you need to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you take care of everybody else. Those of us who are in this work, we preach this constantly. But I really do feel that those of us who are so, some of the folks are so fearful that fear is getting them sick. And it's getting them sick not with the coronavirus, it's getting them sick with other things. Because the coronavirus attacks the lungs first. The cold and the flu virus starts from the top down. This sucker is going very deep and hitting the lungs first. And what are lungs about holistically? Lungs are about oxygen. Lungs are about breathing. Lungs are about expansion. And when there's challenges with the lungs, it's often about grief and it's often about fear. So when, we can't breathe, we're suffocating if our lungs fill up. So there is this fear that if we shift into concern, and out of fear, we take a leap. And the word leap, by the way, I love the word leap. It's a very strong, powerful, action-filled word. And one of the things that I state is that I help entrepreneurs leap off the hamster wheel of life and into calm, ease, and flow. And in that meditation I was talking about earlier, I was told to use the word leap as an acronym. And the acronym is life, energy, attitude, and production. So while we're taking a nap, which is nurture, appreciation, and pause, we have opportunity to leap by taking stock of our life, raising our vibrational energy, shifting our attitude and mindset, and going into production from a different perspective, because we're allowing ourselves breath, the calmness, the ease and the flow to allow other things to come to us instead of that.
Right. Well, and I think part of that is letting loose of those constructs that defined us.
Yeah.
And so many people are being called to come out and be leaders through this experience in ways that they have never seen themselves as a leader before.
Absolutely.
And that means letting go of who you thought you were.
And it also means letting go of, because I'm seeing leaders, people who are leaders already, going into a negative place. Right. So it's about taking a step back and evaluating, what's this all about? And I'm seeing that very vividly with a few people in my world, that they're leaders before this started and everything was great, and then this happened and they're falling apart at the seams. So what's up with this? What are the hard questions that need to be asked? Are you really in the right place? And do you need to take a pause? Do you need to take a nap and take a detour? Go in a different direction and lead in a different way. You're so right. There's so many of us that are being called up. Some who in their wildest dreams would never think that they're leadership material. I often have, I don't know about you, but I often have people say to me, well, I can't be an intuitive leader. I'm not a leader. Every single person on the planet is a leader. You know, you can be a maintenance engineer who comes up with a different way of pushing the broom and sharing it with the world to save time, energy, and money. And that's an act of leadership. Is it not?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're being called up in a lot of ways.
Well, and it doesn't have to be big. It can be even that you pay attention to the people in your neighborhood, and you know that there's someone down the street who lives alone, maybe elderly, maybe at highest risk, and maybe can't get to the grocery store. So you step out and care for someone else in a way you haven't done that before. What a beautiful display of leadership right there.
Absolutely. And there's another piece with all this with law of attraction, and that is judgment. I'm finding that there are a lot of people that are out there. I've been hearing it. They've been in my presence. We've talked about it on podcasts. I think you're like the 5th podcast today that I've been on in talking about this thing. When we judge other people for their actions and their behavior, we lower who we are as individuals. The only people we need to, and I don't like to use the word need, it's best, because need means lack. It's important that we focus on ourselves, our behavior, our words, our actions, and what's right for us. If someone else is doing something different than what we believe is appropriate, my suggestion is, instead of judging them, bless them. Send positive energy to them. Thank them for mirroring to you what you feel you're doing that's right. And step out of that judgment place, because that judgment place then raises cortisol, then puts, lowers your positive vibration, and it puts you in a place that you don't really want to be in. So judgment is a big deal. And I'm seeing a lot of people judging a lot of people. And I have to laugh. I'm like, okay, I'm judging the folks who are grabbing all the toilet paper. I get it. and I'm like, bless you. I'm so glad you need it. I know who to call if I need toilet paper. That kind. And it's about bringing more joy in and laughter. I was watching Golden Girls yesterday morning. Oh my gosh, I couldn't stop laughing. I just did a binge on Golden Girls because they were way ahead of their time. And just absolutely hysterical women. That's what I want to be like when I'm that age. I want to be like that. They're so funny. But that judgment piece, I think, is big. So, Doctor, you tell me, Ruth, what do you think about the judgment piece? Does that resonate with you?
Oh, well, it absolutely does. And I really do believe something that Leo Buscaglia wrote when he wrote that so much of what we do is based off of love or fear. And I see both happening right now. That I really believe that the people that are buying up all of the things, it's out of fear. And I appreciate that. I went through a day just this last week of going, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to find food for my daughters? Oh my gosh, what if this happens? What if that happens? And I found myself resonating at that very uncomfortable place of lack and scarcity and a little panic, right? So I'm glad I had that because I recognize it. And so I don't sit in judgment of what other folks are doing. I understand it.
Yes.
For me, I couldn't stay there.
That's the point. We catch ourselves. We are human. We judge all the time. We're human. And the key is when we catch ourselves doing that, going, oh, what did I just do? Pull in, forgive ourselves. I do Ho'oponopono a lot. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I love you. And I just do a quick Ho'oponopono prayer and just let it go. And right now there are challenges, especially within the entrepreneurial world, with so many restaurants closing, so many people needing to go on unemployment, entrepreneurs who right now there's no income coming in. It is intense, and that's who I work with, are entrepreneurs. So I was just on a call where one person, the leader of the call, was saying that she called the person who does the hair and the makeup for the events to cancel, and that person said to my colleague, my whole business it's gone. She had 20 cancellations yesterday.
Ouch.
So yes, it's huge. That's ouch. And if you're living day to day, it's challenging. And the only thing that I can say to that is, please step in a place of allowing and trust that you will be taken care of. Because once we do that, the miracles happen. They do happen every day. And I believe very much in miracles. And my heart goes out to that woman. And how hard is it to step in trust? How hard is it to step in allowing? It's easy for me to say right now, but I'm not her. I'm not going through what she's going through. And those emotions are they can run very deep.
Right.
That's when you need to ask for help. Asking for help is a sign of strength. It is not a sign of weakness. I think I have said that about 75 times today. Asking for help is a sign of strength. It is not a weakness.
Well, and thank you for that perspective of what she's going through. And I would just implore folks that are feeling comfortable because you've got food, you've got shelter, you've got the paycheck that's going to keep coming, unlike the entrepreneurs, if you've got any place to reach out and see your neighbor's needs as your own.
Yes. Yeah. Without question. Without question. You know, I have elderly parents that live in another state. They're 97 and 94. I just got back from there last week. Things weren't as bad last week. This week, I wouldn't even think of getting on an airplane because I could infect them. And they live on their own. And I had to call out, I had to make a call out to cousins who live down there and say, hey, none of my siblings, I or my siblings can get down there right now. I need help in making sure that they're okay and that they've got the food. And I talked with my mom yesterday. She's petrified that something's going to happen and I can't get to her. And I'm like, Mom, trust me, everything's going to be all right. I know it's going to be all right. I just know it. You will see me in 4 to 6 weeks. I will be down there. But and I have to admit, yesterday I was like, oh my God, am I going to get down? And I had to regroup on that one because what's going to happen with the flights? I went to a momentary, am I going to be able to fly? Am I actually going to be able to get down there? Am I going to be able to rent a car and drive down to Miami if I have to? I went through about 10 minutes of going into what I call drama mode. I went, stop, enough.
Right.
Step back into allowing. So yeah, give yourself permission to vent and
yes,
and lose it if you need to.
Right. That's important too. You can't just stuff all of it and say, oh, I have to be positive. I can't pay attention to what I'm feeling because those feelings are so valid.
Well, they are. And subconsciously, if you keep trying to stuff it and don't let it out, subconsciously, from a law of attraction perspective, it's still there. Vibrationally, you will not attract what you want because subconsciously it's all still in there. So it's about let it out, jump up and down, do a bunch of jumping jacks, scream, yell, holler, run around the house a few times, stay 10 feet away from the neighbors, whatever it is that you need to do, and regroup. Take a breath. Get out.
And it's okay to eat the Easter candy before Easter if that's what's going to bring you peace. It's okay.
I've been doing that. my future son-in-law is here going to school for the Navy, and he's stuck. He can't go to his next duty station. He came over for dinner and brought me a bag of Ghirardelli bunny rabbits. Thanks. And it's like, I should be waiting. No, I'm in the present. I'm going to grab one of those and eat them now.
I know. Isn't that funny? Yep. I appreciate that. And Terry, before I let you go, you've got this whole bevy of angels behind you. You've got one on your lapel.
I do. Oh, and this is a guardian angel with the serenity prayer on the back.
Very nice. If you just sat and keyed in for just a minute, what are you hearing from the angels?
Ask for support. Oh, wow. Ask for support. There is no reason to do this alone. Ask for support. There's more coming through. Believe that all will be well, and it will. Just ask for support. That's a mantra here. Ask for support. It's not ask for help. It's ask for support. Asking for help is different. This is asking for support. Is there more? Yeah, there's more coming through. The minions of angels are blanketing the world, and they are assisting where they are asked. They are assisting where they are asked. We implore you to ask. We are complete. There we go.
Yes. So I have been working with 500,000 Earth Angels, and I've heard the exact same thing. We need to ask, or they just kind of sit back and wait.
Okay, that's exactly right.
Yep.
And oh, by the way, this is a fluke because I've been on 6 podcasts today. I went and changed real quick. And this sweater happened to have the angels on it.
It's no fluke.
Yeah, no, it's not.
No fluke.
So there we go. There we go.
Terry, thank you so very much. This has been fabulous, and I cannot wait to have future conversation with you.
Thank
Terry,
you.
if folks want to learn more about you and more about what you do, how do they find you?
They can go to intuitiveleadership.com, and all my services are there. My products are there. A new university will be launching, Intuitive Leadership University, where there will be 3 components: the Leadership Wisdom School, the Business Wisdom School, and the Life Wisdom School. We have 6 faculty members that are amazing. And excuse me. And I am also I'm a businesswoman who became a holistic practitioner. So a lot of the work that I do is with NLP, emotion code, body code, and help to release a lot of the self-sabotaging stuff that holds us back from being the amazing people that we're meant to be. I use it for myself every single day. These are phenomenal tools. And with each certification, I use it for a few years, and then something else lands in my lap that's even better and stronger and more powerful. And the body code and emotion code have just knocked my socks off. So I became certified in both of those to help entrepreneurs clear out the emotional baggage that is in their way of success. So,
great.
intuitiveleadership.com. And thank you for asking.
Oh, absolutely. So, Terry, thank you. And to everybody who's listening, thank you so much for being here. And if you heard this and think it could be helpful to somebody else, please pass it along. We'd greatly appreciate that. So from Enlightened World Network and from Terry Wildemann, thank you. God bless. You all take care.
God bless.